Hello guys, it's your fellow investor here with another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about Nano Dimension. I will tell you everything you need to know, what are latest updates, where I think this company is heading in the short term, mid term and long term, and all that good stuff. But before we begin, I'd love to ask you if you could click on the beautiful red subscribe button and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. With that being said, let's get into the news. So we can see on the chart or in the pre-market section, it's down over 13%, minus $2. And if we look at 5 days, it's been doing almost nothing. The stock was been going up and down, but on the past month, it's up 42%, which is not too shabby for a stock in the current market conditions. And for past 6 months, the stock is doing amazing. It's very nicely performing. We can see very steady growth, and we know that there are ups and downs. However, there hasn't been much ups recently, so I was expecting maybe one more. It always goes up and then down, but now it didn't go up and now it will go down probably in after the market opens. And the reason for it is quite simple. It's the latest news which I'm going to tell you right now. Nano Dimension prices $500 million registered direct offering. That's the biggest they've ever done. There's nothing wrong with direct offerings. It's actually a good thing for the company to raise capital, but there is one catch in this one, which hasn't been, in the previous direct offerings, and that's that the price of the American depository shares, it's $12.8, and that's not a good sign. Usually you want to make these direct offerings as close as possible to the current market price, but if the current market price is $15 and they give them a price of this direct offering $12.8, it's not good in the short term. It's really not. So this really happens when you make it's not the best offering in the world. They could make way more money, but probably they agreed upon this price, and I think it's still worth for the company taking this offer in the midterm and long term. Of course, there will be a big hit in the short term, but us as a long-term investor, it shouldn't really worry us. On the contrary, we should be looking this as a positive thing, that if you don't have a good position already, you can actually use this correction in your advantage and maybe buy more shares or average down. It's all up to you. So let's go maybe a little bit into it. The closing of the registered direct offering is expected to take place on about February 18th, 2021, subject to the satisfaction of customary closing conditions. So the actual offering will take place 2 days later. However, usually it projects into the price, into the stock price immediately when it's announced, not after it's being closed. So, we got the worst behind us. Now we can only look for a brighter future. Why would they raise that much money? Well, it's quite simple. Their CEO, Yoav Stern, already mentioned in the past that they are looking to acquire some companies, some startups, or some possible competition, or just companies which would make sense for them to acquire to boost up their production or increase their revenues, make the stuff, work better for less money. And that's probably the reason why they are acquiring companies. They're looking for some mergers and acquisitions, and he even said it's some news that lately the companies are becoming more and more expensive because of the rise of SPACs. So that's the reason why they are raising so much money, and they will have about $1.5 billion in cash, which is immense. It's a crazy amount of money. And if you look into their current market cap, it's $3 billion, roughly $3.2 billion. So they will have again half of their market cap in cash. That's crazy good, and it really offers really intriguing it really just will push the company in the long term and mid-term to a brighter future. I will go very quickly through Nano Dimension CEO letter to shareholders because there's been some very interesting things I like to point out. Nano Dimension reported an audited revenue of approximately $3.4 million for the year ended December 31st, approximately $990 million of cash reserves and no debt as of January 31st. And now, you put plus $500 million and you get almost $1.5 billion of cash reserves. That's crazy big, and it's very good for the company. Mr. Stern said, "I was positively surprised during second half of 2020 as our revenue was much higher than I expected, reflecting the following 5 upward trends. Approximately 70% of our Dragonfly Pro customers have upgraded their machines. Revenue boosted by our recurring revenue model, which includes the selling of dielectric and conductive materials used by the Dragonfly for 3D printing. Strong initial sales of our new nanos. So that's amazing. Recurring revenues from customers with annual services and support agreements. Sales to Pacific Rim customers who recovered earlier from the Rona and started to buy machines in November 2020. Rona is still in full force in Europe and the US. Our working assumption is that once it phases out, we should experience a slingshot effect on sales as a result of the removal of restrictions on capital spending, supplier visits and travel by our customers and prospects. In preparation for this stage, we have planned an aggressive go-to-market strategy supported by our cash reserves. So that really explains why they are raised so much money. And again, they're looking for merger and acquisition activity, and that's why they raised so much money. And it's looking really good for Nano Dimension so far for this year. Last but not least, positive catalyst in upcoming week. We can see that Nano Dimension to establish AME Academy with other industry-leading suppliers to educate professionals on additively manufactured electronics. I've already talked about this in my previous video, but it's been kind of some time since I made a Nano Dimension video, so I think it's only good to show this up and remind you guys that on February 23rd, 2021, there will be a virtual seminar, first of many annual events, and NNDM, Nano Dimension will be there educating professionals with other industry leaders in the sector, and it really will give even more publicity and possible revenues in the future. It's always a good thing when companies go and present themselves on different occasions, different events. It's only a positive thing for the company. If they can get there, it's huge, and they've done it, and they are looking very, very good for this year and next years to come. So, where I see this company heading in the next week, month or year? Well, in this week it might be a wild ride because of this not so good direct offering. We might see some big moves down, but big moves up, I would say, as well, because people will most likely grab more shares when it's on discount, because if you've done your due diligence and you just look into their financials, they're looking phenomenal. They have great cash balance and really great, almost no competition in their sector, in their niche, and their possibilities are almost limitless. So with that, we're getting into the one month. I think in 1 month we will be up no matter what. If there won't be any crisis on the stock market, we should be up in 1 month, and in 1 year there's no doubt we will see at least, I'd say, 30% moves, if not more. I'm very conservative with my calls, but so far I've been very successful with them. But still, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence before you invest into anything I talk about here. I'm not being paid from these companies, it's just my opinion and my own look into these companies. I hope I brought you some value. If I did, definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more exclusive videos. And smash that like button if you haven't done so already. YouTube algorithm is evil, but with your help we can defeat it. Also, let me know down in the comments what are your thoughts and opinions about this company. Are you in it? Are you going to buy more shares when it's on discount? Or are you going to let it run because you are satisfied? I'm all ears. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.